Hello everybody and good evening. December 23. It is the last game day of 2018. Also 2 days away from Christmas, which is why we are gifting you with this live and exclusive coverage of the ASEAN Basketball League. And tonight, as we continue to rise greatness, we are coming to you live from the Caloocan Sports Complex, and we bring you this matchup between your home team, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, going up against the visiting Singapore Slingers. As you can see there, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas at 3-0 right now. Singapore, on the other hand, at 5-2. Thank you so much for catching us live on SNA. My name is Martin Javier, and I'm working for the first time tonight with Mr. Christian Luanzon. Great to have you here, Christian. Interesting matchup and game ahead.
Good evening to all the ABL fans, and it's a pleasure to working with you. And what a game we have tonight, Singapore. Yeah. After losing their first game, and then winning 5 straight, and then losing that one to Hong Kong, and then Alab playing their first game on the 9th and having their 4th game in 2 weeks. That's right. Having a 3-game winning streak.
That's right. Later on, we'll also be catching our courtside reporter, Sydney Crespo. But right now, Christian, let's take a look at our team standings, early goings of the season. Obviously, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, the only remaining undefeated team. They don't want to end it tonight. Singapore Slingers, on the other hand, not far behind at 5-2.
And both teams also having an experience early in the season.
Yeah.
And having games into overtime. Alab Pilipinas, their second game, going into overtime. Indonesia, they won that one. Singapore with a double overtime, lost that one to Hong Kong, which puts them at 5-2 in 3rd place.
All right, let's leave the discussion there first. And let's now go to our Coliseum announcer for the team introduction.
Happy holidays, everyone! Mga batang Gangalo, it's nice to be back here at the Caloocan Sports Complex in Caloocan City as the reigning ABL champions. Our very own San Miguel Alab Pilipinas makes its debut here against the visiting Singapore Slingers in the 9th season of the ASEAN Basketball League Rise to Greatness. Brought to you live via ABS-CBN SNA. Now let's call out the competing teams for tonight. First, the Singapore Slingers. Number 1, Lim Chun-won. Number 2, Desmond O. Number 5, Sean Fields. Number 6, Ding Liu. Number 12, Sean Young. Number 15, Xavier Alexander. Number 17, Ong Han Bin. Number 22, Kelvin Lin. Number 23, Delvin Go. Number 32, Russell Lowe. And number 55, Lavine Ross. The head coach for the Singapore Slingers is Yong Ben Chong. His assistant is Michael Johnson. And now let's welcome our very own San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Number 1, back-to-back world MVP, Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Number 2, Charles Orbistondo. Number 3, Lone Domingo. Number 5, Caleb Johnson. Number 6, J.R. Avanza. Number 9, Prince Rivero. Number 13, Paul Avelone. Number 22, Brendan Rosser. Number 25, Ethan Alfano.
sa simoy at sa langit magbaga. May dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw na kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw naman hatid pagsinta. Buhay kilangit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya naman may mga api ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Back to the action. This is your ABL 9 live on SNA. This year we are looking to rise to greatness. Matchup between the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and the Singapore Slingers. Now the Balkman on your screens right now. After the team introductions earlier, guys are with Martin Javier, Christian Luanzon, and courtside reporter Sydney Crespo, who will be talking to in just a bit. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, of course, getting off a stellar start to the season. Christian, they were tested for the second straight game this time, but the Formosa Dreamers off Taiwan. It was a closer game up until the end of the third quarter before Alab pulled away in the fourth and got that win.
And it was a slow start for them as Formosa led after the first quarter, and then they were going back and forth until Alab was able to take the lead heading into the fourth.
Yeah.
What's impressive for Alab, in that last 6 minutes of the game, they ended that game with a 21-4 run.
Wow.
And what's more impressive is that they did it collectively. Bachman, prior to that game, was averaging 31 points on 25 shots. And they were just all over the place. You know, they were able to run in transition, force turnovers. Havalona got one in fast break. And just a collective effort for them to get their third straight.
And what a start to the season. You mentioned earlier for Ronaldo Balkman, last year's co-defensive player of the year. Coming in, Christian, he is the leading scorer of the league at 29 points per game. And against the Formosa Dreamers, well, he feasted in the painted area, 19 points and 20 big rebounds for Balkmania.
And to your point, which we showed, that's where San Miguel plays its strength in the paint. Last game, 44 against 28 against Formosa, and Bachman really had a face. Only 19 points, and we say that because, again, he had 31 the first two games. But, credit Formosa, they were prepared for him, limiting him to only 13 shots. But you look at that, 19, 20, and 5. He led, Alab in all those categories. That's because all of the other guys stepped up, especially their bench. Havalona came in with 11 points. Domingo had 8 rebounds, 6 coming on the offensive end. Just a total collective effort for all of them.
And you're right, he did that against a very tough Formosa Dreamers team. Actually, our courtside reporter, Sydney Crespo, was able to talk to Ronaldo Balkman earlier. Ronaldo Balkman on your screens, making a strong praise, Christian. This time for World Import MVP, 29 points and 14 rebounds a game. Number 1 in scoring and number 2 in rebounding. And you guys are seeing right now the starting unit for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and the Singapore Slingers, both teams posting very tall lineups here on the floor.
I think it's going to be an interesting matchup between John Fields and Ramos.
Right.
Particularly because Ramos, as a big guy, he's a 7-footer, but if you look at the first 3 games, Martin, he likes to spot up outside the paint.
That's right.
Ronaldo Bachman doing the damage underneath, but at the same time, Fields, on the other hand, he likes to post up, likes to get his teammates involved and loves that right hook with the left shoulder.
But this is 6'9" John Fields versus 7'3".
Right.
PJ Ramos at the painted area. Ball is up here, and San Miguel Alab Pilipinas will have first possession again, going for their 4th straight win to begin the season. And right away, that's a short hook coming from PJ Ramos.
A good play to start the game, getting Ramos his 2 feet inside the paint for a baby hook for an easy 2.
Good first 2 points at the painted area for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Singapore now on the attack. John Fields, no good on the mid-range. Ronaldo Balkman ripping it out. Here is Ethan Alvano, the 22-year-old, to Kailan Chongson, going to the other side, and he gets the first personal on the X-Man, Xavier Alexander.
Their first 2 baskets, again, 2 feet inside the paint. You look at the first 3 games, Martin, a total of 268 points, and more than half, 140 of it, inside the paint. That's 60% of their points coming inside. So if you're the Singapore Slingers, you want to play your defense and be gap-minded. What that means is you want to give up the jump shot instead of the score inside.
And Singapore actually shifted their game from being a slow and deliberate team to a more transition type of team going into season number 9 with Xavier Alexander, of course, at the point guard position. That's right. Jeron Young going to Alexander on the other side against Kailan Chongso now. Alexander leaving it off to Delvin Go. No good on the shot. Delvin hustling for that offensive rebound. They got a fresh 14 here. Xavier on top. He goes to Delvin Go. Picked away by Alvano. Ethan on the move. They go to Kailan. Swings it to Parks for 3. That is short. Young with a board.
Struggled in their last game, was about 0 for 3. Did not make anything from the outside.
And
his first attempt coming from the arc.
Yeah. Jeron Young, of course, exited the game very early in that game against Hong Kong as Alexander misses from downtown. 0 for 3 now from the field are the Slingers. Alvano bounce pass. That is broken up by Jeron Young.
With that rebound by Ramos, he's like cherry picking.
You gotta love the short shorts also of
I know.
PJ Ramos.
Trying to be millennial.
Yeah. Complementing that 7'3" frame, as you can see on your screens, Coach Neo Beng Shang, longtime head coach of the Slingers.
A good thing he has those compression shorts.
Yeah. Well, you gotta have that though. Young with a board.
He should.
Here comes Jeron Young. He is on the move. Oh, out of control there, loses possession. Alvano could not get to the outlet pass from PJ Ramos. So turnover for both teams. 2 minutes gone in this one. Only Alab Pilipinas on the board here, 3-0. Singapore Slingers still looking for answers on offense. Ang Han Bin, who scored that big 3-pointer in that game's against Hong Kong to send that game to overtime. X-Man against Chongson. Going to the corner, Han Bin for 3, knocks it down.
And you see the adjustment by Alexander at the point. Not really looking for his shot right there as he was scanning the floor on the drive.
Right.
Saw the one on his left for that corner 3.
Is one of the leading assist men in the league at about 8.7 assists per game. Alvano finishing with his strong hand. Here comes the Slingers. We told you they like to play fast. Delvin Go converting plus the foul.
And that to me is going to be the key for Singapore. First is pounding the boards, which they did in their last game when they lost to Hong Kong 65-50. And that one right there, playing ahead of the defense.
Yeah.
You don't want Ramos inside the paint. This was the layup by Alvano. And right there, and you see Ramos about 5 feet behind, absolutely nowhere to contest that shot.
That's right.
It gives you a better chance as a team to score and get easier buckets when Ramos is playing behind.
That's right. Delvin Go converting. Could not complete the 3-point play though. And Delvin, top contributor in scoring for the Slingers from the local cast. No good from Parks there. Young with a strong rebound. Sharon on the move. He stops, steps back, goes inside to Fields. Short stab is good. John Fields on the board now. Slingers have the lead, 7-5.
Hit one from the outside was Singapore. That time, Fields was able to get to his sweet spot, even though with a tough angle without the board, no problem.
So San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Oh, they go to PJ Ramos underneath. That's automatic for the big man.
Now talk about problems. That's one thing Ramos will give against this team. Absolutely nobody
Yeah.
there to match up against him at 7 feet.
And Go could not counter on the other end. So here comes Alab again. On the move, Alvano.
Good pass.
Swing it to Jongson. Kalen to Ramos. Steps into a free from straight away. That rattled in and out. Almost went in for PJ though. John Fields bravely attacking Ramos. Fields turns around. No good. And Ronaldo is on the move. Ronaldo
Good foul.
getting fouled there by Delvin Go. And let's now go to Sydney Crespo for a first report. Sydney?
Christian for Singapore Slingers head coach Neo Beng Shang. There's no advantage being able to play more games so far compared to Alab Pilipinas. He mentions that same as Alab, they only got 1 day of rest and they have been traveling here and there, which can be really exhausting. But amidst those, he says that they are still going to focus on what they are supposed to do, and that is to bounce back tonight. Coach Neo even shared to me a fun fact that this is their first time to play here in Caloocan Sports Complex, and he's stoked about the Filipino crowd, the emotions, which he described to be really good. We can expect the Singapore Slingers to show teamwork and discipline. As Coach Neo emphasized, we're just gonna stick with the team's rules. Let's talk about Alab Pilipinas later, but for the meantime, back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Sydney. Well, that's a system of Coach Neo Beng Shang. Unselfish basketball. And they actually have the advantage this year. Usually their primary leading scorer, Xavier Alexander, at least for the past 2 years, has now shifted to the point guard position. And we go the other way here with Singapore having a possession here. Technical foul called
Bogman, I believe.
on Ronaldo Bogman here.
Disagreed with the call right there. The call against him as
That's a big call, Christian, because that's the second personal
Right.
already.
early in this ball game. And I was about to say, because Reynaldo Bogman in their last game played pretty much the whole game at 38 minutes, and a big reason why, because he played without fouling, only had 3 fouls for the game, has 2 quick ones in less than 5 minutes into the game.
Wow, that's a big development for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, but he will remain on the floor. So this is a big gamble here for Coach Jimmy Alapag. So Slingers on the attack again. Tying this one 10 apiece, Ang Han Bin. They go to Xavier Alexander. The
Gotta look too
X-Man.
young on the post as he has a smaller Bobby Ray on him.
Alexander attacking Chong Son, stops, gets it to Fields. Fields, short stab is good.
Big guy showing the nice touch with the one dribble underneath. That time in the middle, nothing but net.
John Fields coming off that 25-point game against Hong Kong. They go inside. Alvano doesn't convert. Bogman with a tip. Reynaldo Bogman. Instant impact here on the floor for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Alexander working with a basketball now. He attacks and scores right away.
That's a smart play to try to test and force Bachmann to pick up the 3rd foul. You see Bachmann just has his hands up. Smart play by Bachmann also not to foul and to let it go.
That's right. 5 points now for Xavier Alexander. Ramos getting double teamed. Kalen hit a 3-pointer earlier.
Wow.
Oh, that's a traveling infraction on Kalen Chongson. And first guy off the bench here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, Lawrence Domingo, replacing Kalen Chongson. We got a timeout on the floor here. We'll be right back for more action here in the ABL 9 on SNA. Back to the action here in the ASEAN Basketball League inside Caloocan Sports Complex. And we were talking about Xavier Alexander earlier, already with 5 points in the game. Usually the leading playmaker of this Singapore Slingers team. But because Jaron Young was in foul trouble pretty much the entire game, he had to pick up the scoring. He scored 25 points, 9 rebounds, 6 dimes, and 3 takeaways in that game.
And was forced to take a lot of shots also those 25 points came off 25 attempts, 9 for 25 for 36%. Got to the line 10 times. Him along with Fields combined got to the line 23 times. It was really a game of free throws.
That's right.
Their last game, I think it was a combined 86 free throws for both teams. And both teams really just, missing their free throws. That's why it went into double overtime until Ferguson in the second overtime rather, was 4 for 4, which pretty much dictated the outcome of the game for Hong Kong.
Slingers also lost 5 players there, with 5 players actually
Yeah,
fouling
you're right,
out
yeah.
in that one. Fields,
A good challenge by
still
Buckman.
relentless here. That's good defensive sequence for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. At a fresh 14 for the Singapore Slingers, who are up 2 points, 14-12. Here in the first frame, Alexander triggering it in. He goes to Delvin. They swing it to Jaron Young. Young splits the defense, steps back for that jumper. No good. Oh, Fields retrieving it. Again, Fields attacking and scoring. Wow. John Fields with 3 buckets here in the first. Go,
Sorry
Christian.
about that, Marin, but that's one thing that you want to see Ramos do better, is to challenge more shots. A lot of times in the first 3 games at least, he would just look at him and try to put a hand up. Only .33 coming into this game in terms of his blocks. His first block came only in the last game.
That's
Nothing
right.
in the first 2.
And he will be challenged here by John Fields. And we have a foul here called against Ang Han Bin, 6'4" local player of the Singapore Slingers. So change in the point guard position for Coach Jimmy Alapad. Here's the attack earlier. John Fields not scared at all of PJ Ramos, relentlessly attacking the rim. Bobby Parks, yes.
Avalona in the ball game had 11 of the 28 bench points for Alab. His first 3 misses it.
Avilona, good spark off the bench for Alab. Last Friday against Formosa. So here comes Singapore. Up by 4 points, 16-12. Jaron Young against Parks. Good matchup here. Young attacking Parks. He stops, shoots. Could not score. Ramos gets the rebound. 5 rebounds now for PJ Ramos. Domingo
Good
goes
pass.
to Parks for 3. Still off from 3-point range is Bobby Ray Parks. Alexander puts it on the floor.
That's a foul on Avalona.
And Avilona will be whistled for his first personal foul.
It looks like a father and son moment between Ramos and Alexander. Imagine if it was us.
That's right. 7 for 3 PJ Ramos again, towering over everybody on the floor here. Oh, nice inbound play by Singapore. Young could not convert though. So here is Bobby Ray Parks bringing the ball down. Ray Parks, spring the defense up and in. The reigning local MVP, Bobby Ray Parks Jr.
At his best when he has a head of steam and putting Joe Young in skates. First 2, highlight.
Ang Han Bin could not answer. Alab Pilipinas with momentum on their side. Domingo,
pass.
Parks for 3. Parks drops it in. 5 straight points for Bobby Ray Parks.
And that's the difference. After making a layup, you see the ball go in the hoop. Your next shot, the bucket just gets bigger after misses his first 2 from downtown.
And now San Miguel Alab Pilipinas grabs the lead back 17-16. John Fields, same move, no good though this time around. Bachman on the move, loses the handle. Young gets it. Young on the move, Young all the way, no good. Almost tipped in by Parks. Here comes Domingo. Low on the sidestep, blocked. Difficult attempt there. Back and forth we go. Entertaining game here in Caloocan. John Fields. Ramos, one more time for Fields, still off. Kelvin go right there for the cleanup.
His second block for the season, and his second one, he didn't even jump.
That's right. Did not need to jump. That was PJ Ramos. But Delvin working hard to get the lead back for Singapore. Under a minute left, Ramos for 3. Ramos drops it in. 7 points for PJ Ramos here in the first.
50%, 1 for 2, makes the second one in the first half.
Baseline J is off for Alexander. Balkman, 2-on-2 break. Parks fakes. Parks attacked. And he will be fouled on his way to the rim. Hard one given up here by Ang Han Bin. And a bit of color under the basket there. This was the sidestep earlier by Bobby Ray Parks for the finish. And No Domingo finding Parks in transition for the three-pointer for 5 straight points. For the back-to-back local MVP, Bobby Ray Parks, Brandon Rosser introduced to the game for the first time. And Parks will head to the line.
And there's a reason why he's a two-time MVP. You just saw it right there after a layup and a basket from the outside. Utilizes the power of the shot fake. A lot of players, Martin, would have gone for the heat check, especially on the same spot, but not Bobby Ray. Reading the play well, he saw a man closing out long on him, makes the right decision, gets a pair for his first 2 in the game.
Ray
On
Parks,
the line.
That's right. Did not shoot well though against the Formosa Dreamers, only 5 out of 13, but he did get 13 points. And so far in 3 games, Christian has complemented very well with the play of Ronaldo Balkman and PJ Ramos.
He will complement any team in the league, because you know one thing that Bobby Ray has learned in the ABL is to sacrifice and adjust, because before coming into this league, he was the alpha dog in National University, the college team where he played for, and in the commercial teams wherever he played. So it was a big adjustment for him, but still making a name for himself, winning 2-time MVP.
And time will expire here in the first frame. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas off to a great start here. Up by 4 points, 22-18. Some highlights here of the first quarter. John Fields getting a lot of buckets early over PJ Ramos. I think that was one of his 3 buckets early in the game. Ramos, though, converting for 7 points in the first quarter. Xavier Alexander tried to keep Singapore in it. Able to score there. Ronaldo Balkman, despite also battling foul trouble, able to make an impact in this game. That was a 3-pointer earlier by the big man PJ Ramos. Again, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas up by 4, 22-18 to the first. To the action, we are here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. This is your ASEAN Basketball League season number 9 live on SNA. The matchup between San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and the visiting Singapore Slingers. The crowd here enjoying some Christmas treat here inside our venue, Caloocan Sports Complex in Manila, Philippines. Once again, thank you so much for catching the action here on ABL 9. And after the first again, entering the second frame, it's San Miguel Alab Pilipinas with a 4-point advantage, 22-18. You guys still have Mark Navier, Christian Luanzon, and for Sidney Crespo at courtside. Quick steal right away to start the second quarter for Josh Urbistondo. The fireball in for the first time for Coach Jimmy Alapag. That's a turnover
once
for
again.
Alab Pilipinas. And first quarter field goals, Christian, Alab shooting very well. 50%, 33% for Singapore. Although, Singapore actually shot 8 more shots in the first frame.
That's because Alab, 10 of their 22 came from inside the paint. But Singapore, you know, not doing too bad themselves, as they had 14 points But turnovers also. Singapore had 4 turnovers in that first half, and both teams starting it off with a turnover.
And Christian, we've been playing a fast pace here so far in the first quarter. Who favors this pace more? Alab or Singapore? This fast-paced game we are playing right now.
I think both teams can play at a quick pace, but I think Singapore has to have a better effort again to play ahead of the defense, just to take Ramos out of the picture, especially with Bachmann in foul trouble. I think it's going to be key for them, especially in this stretch with Bachmann on the bench.
That's right.
To try to take the lead, or try to create some breathing room when Bachmann comes in about that 6-minute mark. He doesn't rest that much.
That's right, he doesn't.
I don't think he gets tired. He played 15 minutes in the second game in Indonesia.
That's
50
right.
minutes.
50 minutes. That went to overtime, by the way, with Alab Pilipinas winning it by 8. And Bachmann getting a second personal foul earlier with about 5 minutes remaining in the first. That's going to be a foul against Brandon Rosser as he was trying to defend Delvin Go on that rebound play. So Rosser gets his first personal. About over a minute gone here in the second frame.
Jaron Young has been struggling so far, 0 for 5 to start the game.
There's Young double team.
Oh
Puts
my
up
goodness.
a wild one.
Just
able
about.
to get it in. Wow.
Just about when we said he was struggling, his first made shot behind the backboard.
That almost always happens, Christian. Look at this move by Jaron Young. Putting it up while falling down, plus the foul.
And
able to put it in.
And as if it was not enough, it was a 2+1, mind you.
That was a la Dwayne Wade move by
Right.
Young there.
Right.
From the baseline, right? Now he will go to the free throw line. That was his first field goal, by the way. Young at the line, completing the three-point play. So Slingers quickly back at it, down by a point, 22-21. Josh Urbistondo, the fireball, guarded by Jun Lim. Here's PJ Ramos, backing down on John Fields. Ramos using his height and his will to get that hoop.
I tell you, Martin, the officials have to check that basketball. It looks like a tennis ball when Ramos is holding it. My goodness.
Too tall, too strong is PJ Ramos. And on the other end, Singapore Slingers turning the ball over. 24-21. That is the count here in the second. Ethan Alvano at point guard now, bringing the ball down for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. He's got Jaron Young on him. Lo Domingo.
Good pass.
Goes in. Ramos triple team. Rebound by Alexander.
Took 3 guys to stop that shot.
The X-Men now will set up the play here for Singapore. Alexander using that field screen. He stops, shoots, could not score. Ramos gets the board. Here's the outlet to Rosser. Oh, the jam! Brandon Rosser electrifying the crowd here in Caloocan.
With his second baseball pass assist in the game, Ramos. Oh, it's nice to have big hands. Gigantic hands.
Making those outlet passes look easy. Right. They're on the floor. Take a look at, as we were mentioning that, here's the replay. Brandon Rosser on the receiving end of that fast break play, throwing it down for 2 points. And substitution here. Ronaldo Balkman in early in the second quarter. Again, he has 2 personal fouls, 7:38 to go here in the period. Ray Parks also back in, checking in for Ethan Alvano. So 14 seconds to work with for Singapore. John Fields inside. Oh, denied! By Ronaldo Balkman. Oh no! There's the inbound play. Smart play from Singapore, but Ronaldo Balkman says nope. not on my watch. 3 seconds to shoot for Singapore. 1 second left. Alexander.
Oh, they're going to call a foul.
So Lo Domingo will be called for the personal.
And it looks like they're going to stick with it. Usually the officials would check if it was before or after, but they seem to be sure with it before the shot clock expired. They didn't even mind the check.
And you're going to give the free throw here to Xavier Alexander. The trip to the free throw line for the X-Man. Alexander in his 4th season with the Singapore Slingers. A couple of finals appearances for him. Missing on the first.
What you like about him so far on the ball screen situations, Martin, even though his defender is going under the screen, he's not settling for the outside shot. He's eating the space up. He's getting his shots and getting to his sweet spots. He's just not making them. I think it's just a matter of time for him and Young to make those perimeter mid-range jumpers.
And Alexander could not convert on both free throws. Balkman poked away by Alexander. He will recover. Rosser
stepped out of bounds.
Again, stepped out of bounds here. That's the second time he's done it here in the second.
It's one of the disadvantages of having size 14 feet.
That's right.
Especially anytime you're on that sideline.
Covers a lot of real estate on the floor. Let's see
right there
that again.
Clearly.
So 26-21. Singapore on the attack again. Russell Lowe in for Coach Neil. And they will go to Lowe. Mid-range J.
Great block out by Bobby Ray on Young.
Urbistondo cross court. Kalen for 3. Short for Chong Son. The ball will go the other way.
Now, Kalen Chong Son coming into this game 1 for 4. Only 4 attempts in the first 3 games. He can shoot it from downtown, but he is more comfortable of putting the ball on the deck.
That's right.
And finishing inside.
He was actually more of a catch and shoot guy for
Kung Fu.
When he was playing with Chong Son Kung Fu last year.
Anytime you have a point guard like Tucker, who's a terrific playmaker, you gotta know how to shoot the ball. Stand still.
Josh Urbistondo kicking it out. Kalen hesitating to shoot it. He goes to the corner. Back to Urbistondo with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Bobby Ray Parks crossing over. Parks stops, shoots, and scores! Ray Parks now with 9.
What a luxury for Coach Jimmy Alapag to have your 3rd choice as a terrific scorer and shot maker in Bobby Ray.
And this is a foul at midcourt coming from June Lim. Biggest lead of the game so far for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, 28-21. And PJ Ramos quickly back in for Alab, replacing Brandon Rosser.
Rosser had some solid minutes in their last game. Played less than 10 minutes, had 5 points, come along with 2 rebounds, was able to score in a short time inside. Played less than 4 minutes.
That's right. So they called the unsportsmanlike foul here on June Lim as he was trying to stop Ray Parks at midcourt. So Parks will shoot the 2 free throws plus possession for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Stretching the lead to 8 points, 29-21, now at 9:30-21. But about 6 minutes left in the first half.
And also the first player in double figures would still halfway in the second quarter. But if you're Singapore with Alab being over the limit, you gotta get to the line as much as possible and take advantage.
PJ Ramos double teamed by Lowe and Fields. Parks catch and shoot, no good. Good save by Kelvin Lim. Alexander on a move against 3 guys. He puts it up and in off the glass.
That's a smart, good finish by Alexander, the X-Man, and a smart play by Balkman just to let it go instead of, the potential 3rd foul.
And that puts out the fire for Singapore. Kelvin Lim on Urbistondo. Oh, great steal from behind by Young. Fields on the move. Young. Oh, that is deflected. Young will recover though. They've got a lot of time to work with here. Jaron Young attacks,
That's a tough fall.
and he will be fouled. He will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. Ray Parks will be called for the personal. As we go to Sydney Crespo again for her report. Go ahead, Sydney.
Yes, Martin, moving to the other side of the court, positive environment is the reason for Alab Pilipinas' very good team chemistry, according to head coach Jimmy Alapag. And that same chemistry resulted in their prolific start here in ABL 9. And as for Coach Jimmy, this started not only in their practices, but also when they have lunch or dinner together as a team. Tonight against Singapore, Coach Jimmy needs his men to be able to adjust defensively, as the Singapore is known to be a very good defensive team. Now let's see if they can keep their win-loss record flawless tonight, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Sydney. And that's what PJ Ramos and Ronaldo Balkman, that's what they bring to the table. They give good energy, especially at the practices. Very important, especially when leading. You know, the young guys like Bobby Ray Parks, Ethan Alvano, Kalen Chongson. And of course, on their way to defend their championship here in the ABL 9. PJ Ramos, they go to Balkman at the post. Ronaldo goes back out to Urbistondo. Ramos for 3, shoots over Fields, no good. Chongson skying high for that one, tipped by Alexander. Fields all alone for the two-handed throwdown. And a quick timeout called by Coach Jimmy Alapag. 8 points now for John Fields. Lead is down to 3 for Alap. Back here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex, even the kids enjoying the action. Of course, it's almost Christmas time, a couple of days away from Christmas. December 23, 2018, also the last game day for 2018 for the ABL. We will resume action on January 2. That's going to be in Malaysia. And the crowd enjoying the game so far. 30-27 lead for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. This is 6 straight points put up by the Singapore Slingers. This was the latest bucket. John Fields on the break, stuffing that one home. And Alab Pilipinas will now have possession. Ramos for 3 again. This time he knocks it down.
For the people who are watching for the first time, especially Ramos, who's about 7'4". Yeah, he can shoot that. He made 4 3-pointers in his first game. 7 for 19 coming into this one. Yep, he's a shooter.
That's a second one, by the way. He's got 12 points right now. And Ethan Alvano will check in, replacing Josh Urbistondo for Alab. 3:59 remaining here in the first half. Singapore Slingers will have possession. They go to Russell Lowe. Alexander reading the defense here. Xavier stop shoots. He gets it back. Fresh 14 for Singapore. John Fields from mid-range. That drops in for John Fields.
If he can make that consistently all night, it will eventually force Ramos outside the paint and would allow him to attack at the rim.
Here's Alvano. Oh, saw the opening, attacked it right away on his way to the basket.
You have to take away the left. That's the second time tonight in the first half. He was able to attack to his strong hand and finish.
Ethan Alvano with now 4 points in the game. Young on the pull-up. Tried to bank it in, no good. Balkman with the board. 6 rebounds now for Ronaldo. They go to Ethan Alvano here, who's got Kevin Lim on him.
Good pass.
They go to Kalen, who shoots. No good on the three-pointer. Alexander with a rebound. The X-Man gets it to John Fields. Again, shooting over Ramos. This time it's off. Battle for the rebound. It goes to Balkman. Ronaldo handling it. Albano for three. No good. And a foul inside on that rebound play, Christian. And I believe that's going to be on Russell Lowe.
3 for 11 so far in the game. This was the high ball screen by Albano. Jaron Young was hesitant to help because I believe that was Bobby Ray in the corner, who's made a three already. But they have to take away that strong side rather of Albano, as he is a lefty. We saw him, Martin just missed a three-pointer on the catch. He's more really of an off the ball or on the dribble rather, three-point shooter. He's more comfortable of making those kind of threes.
And here he is again. Oh! Dancing against Kelvin Lim. Could not make the shot though. Slingers on the move. Down by 6. Alexander from 15. Hit the front of the rim. Balkman in transition. Doesn't have the numbers. He goes all the way anyway. Ronaldo Balkman extending the lead to 8.
That's the luxury of having a Ronaldo Balkman getting the defensive rebound. Cookies!
Bobby Ray with a finish. Ray Parks finishing in transition.
And was probably fouled too.
That's right. On the challenge by Jaron Young. And a timeout here. 10-point lead, 39-29 for Alab Pilipinas. Back to the action, and San Miguel Alab Pilipinas enjoying their biggest lead of the game. It's now at 10 points, 39-29. This was the first fast break play completed by Balkman. Second one, the steal and the score for Bobby Ray Parks. Finishing at the rim, meeting Jaron Young on that fast break play. Parks with 13 points in the game, leading the way for Alab Pilipinas.
You know, Jaron Young, he's an excellent chase down blocker.
Yeah, he's a high leaper.
Yeah, almost every game he has a highlight. You know, especially if somebody almost has a layup, suddenly he would appear. But a good job by Bobby Ray. You saw in the replay, Martin, looking over his shoulder and extending a little bit, trying to, you know, extend that layup to the left side a little bit, just to have a slight advantage and avoid the block.
So here's Xavier. He will go to Ang Han Bin, who's got the smaller Albano on him. Han Bin gets it to Alexander. 7 seconds to shoot for Singapore. Xavier shoots over Domingo. Great defense for Alab. Delvin Go gets the offensive rebound. Ripped away though by Alab. Albano gets it. Alexander gets it back for Singapore. Alexander, he was looking for the throwdown over PJ Ramos.
And Ramos said, I'm not going to have that tonight. He made sure. That's probably the first time he got off his feet on a challenge defensively.
Right. Look at his play. The save by Albano to the wrong man. Alexander getting it. And Xavier went for the throwdown. But Ramos was there to prevent it. Alexander is still struggling from the free throw line.
You know, Alab having a 10-point lead, but it feels much closer. You know, Singapore, particularly Alexander and Jaron Young, as a combined 4 for 18, they has. I think it's just a matter of time for them to make their shots, but they keep struggling like this. They don't have a chance.
And Xavier Alexander is now 1 out of 5 from the free throw line. 10 is the lead for Alab Pilipinas. Ronaldo on the step back J. Drops it in. And we got a foul right after.
Off the ball by Domingo on Alexander. I think it's going to be against Domingo.
And players exchanging words here. Alexander and Lo Domingo. This was a step-back jumper, Christian, by Ronaldo Balkman, able to drain it.
Right.
Oh, but that was PJ Ramos.
PJ Ramos, rather. Yeah, correct myself.
Pushing Xavier Alexander there. Got a timeout on the floor here. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas up by 12, their biggest of the game. Coverage here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. Go ahead, hug it out. Hug cam here on SNA.
It's Christmas.
Christmas fans, that's right.
Christmas hug. Come on.
Give some love. We're a couple of days away from Christmas. Guy saying, nope, not happening. That is the hug cam. One of the things we added here in the coverage of the ABL. 41-29, a minute and 9 seconds remaining here in the first half. And again, Alab Pilipinas still rolling here in the second frame, outscoring Singapore 19-11 so far to create this advantage, Christian.
And failing to take advantage of San Miguel being over the limit early. Just getting to the line twice in that 5-minute mark when San Miguel was in penalty.
Here's the cross-court pass. Lo Domingo puts it on the floor. Able to get to the paint, could not make the shot. Balkman with the rebound, no good. Parks gets it back. Couple of opportunities for Alab. Balkman denied by Alexander one more time. And the third time is the charm for Ronaldo Balkman.
That was 6 extra opportunities in just one possession offensively for Alab. Young still continues to struggle.
And Alab with a 14-point lead now. Singapore getting it back. Alexander. They go to John Fields, baseline J. That's good.
Oh. Ramos was begging Fields to take that shot. He was about 20 feet away from him.
John Fields, the only guy in double figures for Singapore at 12 points. Ethan Alvano double teamed up on top here. He goes to Ray Parks. Oh, denied by Fields. Denying that buzzer-beating basket from Lawrence Domingo is John Fields. So after 2 quarters of play here in the Philippines, it is 43-31, a 12-point lead for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. At halftime, you see here the highlights of the second frame. Bobby Ray Parks coming alive, leading the way for Alab with 13 big points. Difficult shot there. John Fields, again, trying to keep Singapore in it with 12 points in the first half. But Ronaldo Balkman, although he kept battling with that foul trouble, struggled early in the game, started to heat up towards the end of that second frame. Again, at the half, 43-31. For the home squad, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas will be back for halftime stats and analysis of this game. Welcome back to our coverage here live on SNA. This is your ASEAN Basketball League season number 9. At halftime, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas up by 12, 43-31 over the visiting Singapore Slingers. Thank you for having us on the coverage here. Martin of the Air, Christian Wanzon, Sydney Crespo at courtside. Some numbers here of the first half, and look at the defense of Alab Pilipinas in the first half, Christian, especially in the second frame where they outscored the Slingers 21-13.
Right, especially defending Jaron Young and Xavier Alexander, who was a combined 4 for 19 for only 21%.
Yeah.
You know, and Martin, if not for San Miguel's mostly unforced turnovers, they had 8 in the first half. Coming into this game, they were averaging 9.7.
Wow.
You know, if not for those unforced turnovers, which, you know, Singapore capitalized 10-2 in points off turnovers, this would be easily a 20 to 25 point blowout game. So if you're Singapore, still, even being down by 12, you still got to feel good about yourselves. I think what's important for them is the first 5 minutes of the third, not to give San Miguel a chance to break this game wide open.
That's right. Their top two guys you mentioned earlier. As we see here, the Pacute Cam we have, Christian. Would you do the honors of explaining now to our international viewers of what the Pacute Cam is?
I don't know how to explain it, but you know, just giving your best smile.
Best smile.
Yeah,
Okay.
your best smile.
That's what qualifies as cute.
I don't know what's
Okay.
harder, giving the hug or giving the Pacute.
That's
because
right. You know what?
I think all of our fans right here, anytime the camera is on them, is having a hard time doing both.
Ah, that's a
All
good
right
way
there.
of doing it.
Yeah.
Showing us the peace sign here. Not shy at all. Again, we are here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex for the live coverage of the ASEAN Basketball League. This is the fourth game for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, starting the season at 3-0, up against the Singapore Slingers, who are now at 5-2. Now, third quarter begins, and again, Alab Pilipinas grabbing the 12-point lead, 43-31. What sorts of adjustments are you expecting from Coach Neo Bangshang here in the second half?
Well, you try to take advantage as Chongson makes his second three to open up the quarter. I think it's just a matter of making shots, you know.
Okay.
Again, for Jaren Young and Alexander, you still got to do what you did in the first half. You know, getting high percentage shots inside the paint, 10 to 15 footers, and make them. And, you know, take advantage also of you playing ahead of the defense. They did a good job in the first half.
Oh, Xavier Alexander. Wow, long three-point bomb for Xavier to answer the three-pointer of Kailan Chongson.
Yeah, for his first three, 1 for 3 after that shot. That was Steph Curry range.
That's right. So now, 12-point lead again for Alab Pilipinas. Ramos, this time from mid-range, just inside the circle. It's good. Ramos now with 14 in the game.
The way he's going up and down the floor, the way he's moving inside, it feels like he's not even trying.
That's right. This is effortless basketball now for PJ Ramos. Parks saves it. Ramos gets it to Balkman. Shoots over Alexander. Balkman drops it in.
Tough to beat when they shoot like this, especially their two world imports.
And San Miguel Alab Pilipinas have made 3 buckets to begin the third quarter. They're now up 17 points, 51-34. Timeout on the floor.
Again, we would like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman Macau Black Honorable Mayor Macau and Councilor Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Merry Christmas!
Back to the action here in Caloocan Sports Complex. And hug time again. Here we go. Let's see if we can get one hug in. At least one in the coverage. There's a shy ball. Let's go. It's Christmas time. All about giving love here in the Philippines.
Hey, at the end of the night, if nobody does it, we got to ask PJ Ramos to hug somebody
Yeah.
about
Fair
2
hug.
feet smaller than him.
But check this stat, Christian. Balkman and Ramos already combining with 23 rebounds. The entire Singapore squad with 25 in total.
Oh, wow.
That's
That's an outstanding stat.
at that time, Singapore able to score on that mid-range J.
Both also, I believe, is in having a double-double.
That's right. Already with double-double. Parks for 3. Knocks it down.
And not to be forgotten, your third option has 16 points, I believe. Yeah.
16 points. That's a third scoring option for Alab. But again, John Fields converting on the other end, banking that one in. Quick answer for the Singapore Slingers. But they cannot trade baskets with Alab here in the third. Alab, on the other hand, on fire to begin our second half. Albano.
1-3-1 zone by the red shirts.
They go to Parks again. Parks kicks it out to Chong Son. Ramos surveying the floor, goes to Bachman underneath. 5 seconds. Bachman shoots. That's too strong. Young, tipping it to the wrong man. Parks retrieving it.
Failed to communicate that time. We're Young and Alexander to get that rebound.
Chong Son falls down. Battle for the rebound. It goes to Ang Han Bin. 2-on-1 break. Fields. He'll lay it up and in. 14-point lead for Alab Pilipinas.
And that's what Singapore has to do, even if they have to be scrappy just to score on the other end.
Kalen Chong Son gets it to Albano. That is stolen away by Jaron Young. Young is on the move. He will be fouled by Kalen Chong Son, and this is going to be an unsportsmanlike foul on Kalen.
I
Did not
disagree
make,
with this call right here.
Yeah. Let's see the replay though, Christian.
Right there, I thought, even though it was a Judy foul, Jaron Young lost his balance first as he tried for that inside-out move. I think that the result of the call was more of the impact of the fall.
Right. Rather than the initial contact.
Right.
Okay. So Young.
But still a big break for the Slingers, forcing 2 turnovers. And then 2 free throws coming up for Young to try to get his confidence. And they will have ball possession.
That's right. Way to put out the fire here for the Singapore Slingers. Young with 5 points and 6 rebounds so far. Not bouncing back well after that 10-point outing against Hong Kong Eastern. He drops in the first free throw. Kalen Chong Son called for the unsportsmanlike foul here. 6 points, 6 boards. Very talented scorer, Jaron Young. 2 for 2. Slingers will have possession and a chance to trim the lead further. Delvin will trigger it in to the X-Man. John Fields on top, swinging it to Ang Han Bin. They go to Xavier on the curl.
Good switch by Bachman to take away the post entry on Young.
Mid-range J, difficult shot put up by Alexander. Great defense by Alab. Kalen on the move, attacking and taking it out. Last touch on Singapore. And a lot of time to work with for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
Good job by Han Bing Nang to move his feet and to stop the potential transition 2 by Alab.
6:20 remaining here in the third quarter. It is a 12-point advantage for Alab. Albano left open. Could not make it. Here comes Alexander on the other side. Delvin goes back out to Young. He uses the screen given up by Delvin Go. Young from mid-range, that rattles in.
There it is.
So 9 points now in the basketball game for Jaron Young. And that bucket cuts the lead down to 10 points, 54-44. Back to the action, back to our coverage. The ASEAN Basketball League, last game day of 2018 between San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and the Singapore Slingers. 8-0 run for Singapore, cutting the lead down to 10 points. John Fields getting into the mix. Jaron Young back to Fields, couple of buckets from the big man. And of course, this was the mid-range J before the timeout for Young. 9 points here in the basketball game. 4 coming here in the third already. And fans again cheering for the home side, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Looking to put out the fire here.
No, Martin, you made a great point earlier of them. Singapore cannot afford to trade baskets, which they were able to do so, forcing 2 straight turnovers. And eventually getting that big break on the unsportsmanlike. But PJ Ramos,
As you mentioned, the defense of the Slingers, Ramos scoring on that defensive sequence, knocking down the bucket.
big shot to stop the bleeding.
Fields, Ang Han Bin, they go to Xavier Alexander, looking for Young here, gets it to him. Nice drop pass inside. Devin Go could not finish though. Alvano on the move. Ethan with the ball, cross court to Parks. Back to Alvano, and they will slow it down on this sequence. Alvano to Chongson, on top to Ramos, back to Chongson, who fires. No good. Young with a board. Quickly the other way to Delvin Go. Delvin spinning on Chongson. Mid-range shot for Fields is good. 20 points now in the game for John Fields.
Well, he's been a bright spot for them. Led all scorers in the first half with 12 points on 6 for 15 shooting.
And the Slingers still not going away here in the third. Ramos gets it to Balkman.
There you go.
Balk makes his way to the hoop.
And that's the way to break a zone, not to just pass the ball around the arc, but hit it inside and put pressure on the defense.
Back to a 12-point lead for Alab Pilipinas, but Alexander able to get the personal foul against the home team. Let's now go to Sydney Crespo for a report. Go ahead, Sydney.
I told you they're not going to make it easy for us, is what Coach Jimmy sent out to his men in the huddle as a reminder that Singapore is not going to let go of this game without a fight. And both teams emphasize defense in the huddle as Coach Neo of Singapore rallied to the Slingers that they need to push it hard with their defense and give it what it takes to successfully close out this game tonight. Gentlemen, your thoughts on the defense of the teams tonight?
Thank you, Sydney. Well, it's been a fast-paced game so far, but Alab Pilipinas getting the better of the Singapore Slingers, responding very well to the instructions of Coach Jimmy.
I think you got to credit, Bobby Ray Parks. He's been terrific on both ends. Led all scorers in the first half, 13, has 16 in the ball game, and has been terrific individually to defend and make Young struggle and work hard for his shots. Young, though, on cue, back-to-back baskets with that mid-range J.
And that cuts the lead down to 10 points, 11 points now for Jaron Young. He reaches double figures here in the third quarter. So Parks, he gets it to Ramos, who's guarded by Fields. Balkman goes baseline off the glass, no good. Alexander on the move. On the other side here, Delvin Go catches it. Does not challenge Ramos, goes for the mid-range, no good. Ramos outlet pass. Balkman, that is broken up by Jaron Young.
What an effort by Jaron Young not to give up on the play. How about that pass once again by Ramos?
Making it look easy here.
It's
Look
like
at
a
that
baseball.
Right. But again, good deflection for Jaron Young to prevent the easy basket. Balk attacks again though. Back-to-back misses for
Good no
Ronaldo
call.
Balkman. Ang Han Bin, catch and shoot. No good. Orbistondo getting the rebound. The fireball goes to Balkman. Ronaldo behind the back. No good. Ang Han Bin with a board. And that's 3 straight misses now for Ronaldo Balkman. Jaron Young flips it up and gets the personal on Bobby Ray. Second foul on Bobby Ray Parks, and this will mean free throws for Jaron Young as he was taken in the act of shooting.
Well, it's been a while since Singapore has broken this, what seemed to be a stretch of a 10-point lead in the last maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And I was about to say they had to score on this one, and Jaron Young with a pair with that opportunity coming up.
Alab Pilipinas was actually able to stretch the lead up to 17 points here in the third quarter. It was 51-34 at one point, but Singapore again with a response. But Jaron Young could not make it a single-digit lead.
His first miss.
At the line. Young still with 11 points, 6 here in the third quarter. Had a little bit of everything. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists against Hong Kong last Friday. And he splits his charities. 9-point lead for Alab. 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas with possession. The fireball looking for Ramos. PJ with the left hand. No good. PJ on the second serving. Still off. Oh, he tips it back in. Too tall is PJ Ramos underneath. Fields. No good.
That'll be against Singapore.
And that's going to be a foul here against Calvin Lim. First foul on Lim. PJ Ramos, by the way, 18 points, 13 rebounds already. Ray Parks, they go to Urbistondo. 2.5 remaining. Lo Domingo falls down hard.
And that was the result of the previous play wherein Domingo screened Fields excellently. That opened up the shot inside by Ramos, which he had 2 more opportunities. That's why Fields is not going to have any of it again.
That's right.
That time with the foul. And that's when you value a guy like Domingo. He does the little things.
Yeah.
He runs the floor well, gets rebounds, and is usually quicker to the ball. Just like right there, although ball ends up with a red shirt.
Got a hand on a basketball there while getting the rebound. Jaron Young now on a crossover, pulling up, drops in the jumper.
Might have been fouled too. Play continues on.
16 points for Jaron Young. Oh no, 14 points rather for Young. That cuts the lead down to 9. Urbistondo surveying the floor. 10 seconds to shoot for Alab Pilipinas. They get it to Balkman. Down low to Ramos. And PJ will be fouled on his way to the hoop.
Better job. Sorry about that, Martin. Better job done that time by Alab Pilipinas. Not only getting and attacking this 1-3-1 zone in the corners, but swinging the basketball side to side and finally hitting that high post in Balkman as he hits a guy inside for the mini high-low Ramos with a pair.
PJ Ramos on your screens now. 18 points, 13 rebounds, monster double-double for the Puerto Rican. And he drops in the free throw. He's also got the sweet touch on his jumpers.
What a 1-2 punch for Puerto Rico. JJ Barea, right?
Yeah, that's right.
PJ Ramos.
PJ Ramos.
At your 1 and 5 position. Talk about defending a pick and roll. How do you stop that?
You don't. Except when you're United States, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's 62-51. 2 points by Alab Pilipinas, converted by Ramos. Under 2 remaining. In the third quarter, Singapore Slingers trying to fight back here.
Good hands by Rosser, getting a hand in to deflect that one.
So 12 seconds to work with for the Singapore Slingers. Alexander getting it to Delvin Go. Shot clock is down to 7. Jaron Young shoots over Balkman. Young banks it in. 3-pointer is good for Young.
Starting the third with back-to-back Jays inside the arc. That time, outside, uses the glass, even when it's 9 p.m.
That's right.
Bank is open.
Bank is open. And a 3-pointer cuts the lead down to 8. 12 points this quarter for Jaron Young. Balkman inside. 1 dribble in. No good. Alexander gets the rebound. The X-Man gets it to Young. Stop, shoots. Oh! Miscommunication there between Young and Fields. As Young went for the extra pass inside.
Also a missed opportunity because Balkman trotted back, which they had numbers 5 versus 4. They could have trimmed this lead down to maybe 5 or 6.
43 seconds remaining. Rosser for three. Launches, too strong. Kevin Lim retrieving the ball. Xavier again on the move. Dropping it in. Fields working hard down low, and that will be a foul on Rosser.
No reason to help that time was Rosser, as I thought Domingo did a good job of cutting off the baseline, but he overhelps and opens up the drop on Fields.
Here's the move again. Xavier Alexander getting into John Fields down low, getting the personal on Rosser. And the Slingers have actually done a great job in hanging around in this third quarter, Christian.
Right.
Only down by 8 on what feels like an all Alab quarter here in the third.
They got to make their free throws though.
Fields connecting on the second. Lead is down to 7, 55-62. Pao Havilona. Or Havilona checking in for Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Havilona, or Papa Havilona bringing the ball down here. He's got Kevin Lim on him. Havilona to Balkman. Puts it on the floor. Could not finish with the left hand. The tip does not work as well for Domingo. Sharon Young on the move. Oh, Havilona with a steal. Orbistondo ahead of the pack. Retreats. Attacks again. Flips it up. Could not drop it in. And that will mark the end of the third quarter. Here in our coverage of the ABL 9. It is a 7-point lead for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. As we continue to see the highlights here of the third, Christian. Can you give what happened here in the third quarter? Alab got to a great start, but Singapore responding back and trimming the lead down to 7.
Well, this guy on your screens got it going, had 12 points in the third quarter. We mentioned the struggles in the first half. Did a good job, as you mentioned, of hanging around. They have to do a better job, though, in the fourth quarter to make more baskets and get stops.
We have a 7-point game going into the final frame. ASEAN Basketball League. We'll be right back. We welcome you back to our coverage of your ASEAN Basketball League. This is season number 9, Rise to Greatness. And once again, we are live from the Caloocan Sports Complex, December 23, 2018, 2 days away from Christmas time, Christmas Day. And the fans are very happy. They're getting treated with this matchup between San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and the Singapore Slingers. And speaking of fun and treats, inside the venue, our games during the quarter breaks, including the halftime break.
Martin, have you done your Christmas shopping? You've been traveling a lot.
Nope, I haven't done them, and
you better. And the first thing that you buy is a size 13.
Will do. Noted. Will do. But again, Singapore Slingers opening with a bucket there. Lead is down to 5, and a big quarter for the Slingers in the third, 24-19. Orbistondo from the corner does not work. Rosser saves it. Havilona. Bachman shoots. Bachman knocks it down.
Credit Rosser for creating that extra possession, climbing up the ladder for the offensive rebound, and forcing a turnover right here, trying to draw the charge on Fields with a turnover.
So Havilona will stop here. Also, great job by Balkman to run the floor and prevent Delvin Go for that easy hoop. Kevin Lim getting the rebound. Here comes Singapore. Down by 8. John Fields, one dribble in. And Fields forcing it up. Foul on Rosser. But Rosser got hit in the face.
After the play.
Brandon Rosser still down here.
It's been quite physical for these two tonight in the second half between Fields and Rosser. And you like what Rosser is doing. He's been playing hard in limited minutes.
So John Fields. Good sportsmanship here though from Fields. Checking if Rosser is okay. Fields will go to the line. And you're greeting happy 13th wedding anniversary to Mr. Roy and Claire Lazaga. Sending the greetings. Christmas time from your Alab Pilipinas family. 8:49 remaining here in the contest. John Fields at the line, making the second. So we have a 7-point game again. And Pau Havilona getting it to Lawrence Domingo. Rosser using the screen. Brandon back out to Havilona. 12 seconds to shoot for Alab. Balkman fakes, steps back, doesn't force it. Havilona moves closer, the floater. No good off the glass. Here comes Young the other way. Calvin Lim. Back to Young against the smaller Orbistondo.
Wow, good call.
That's right, traveling infraction here against Jaron Young. Missed opportunity as he had the mismatch against Josh Orbistondo in that sequence.
Should have backed him down.
That's right. So
Also, sorry about that. Also a missed opportunity because Ramos, because of that turnover, comes back in.
Right.
You know, the big three of San Miguel in Ramos, Parks, and Balkman. 52 of the 65 points. Make that 55.
55 points, a three-pointer by PJ Ramos. He is up to 23 points now in the game. John Fields on the reverse. Quickly answers. Again, those momentum breakers.
By
Effective
Ramos,
for-
yeah,
that's
once
right.
again.
Oh, Bachman will escape.
Great pass by Rosser.
Alexander down low. Oh, denied by Rosser. Up top. Bachman. Havilona fakes. Open look for Havilona. No good. Rosser. Good job in tapping the ball away from John Fields, but he could not get a hold of the basketball.
I'm just happy nobody was there.
That's right.
Yeah, that would have been a strike. Instead of bowling pins, people would have been hit.
We had a good number of fans here on the sideline as
Right.
Rosser was approaching. So 10-point lead. Young again has the smaller Havilona on him now. Young to Fields. They go to Han Bin. Kelvin. Too strong on the jumper.
Has not been confident on taking that shot.
Right. Alab Pilipinas goes the other way.
Talk about
Orbistondo for
confidence.
3.
That's one guy not shy.
Although he draws air on that one. Foul here against Brandon Rosser.
He's gonna keep shooting it. Just
You know Josh. Former Singapore Slinger as well
Right.
is Josh Orbistondo.
took them to the finals.
That's
I
right.
believe, yeah. Which paved the way for him to be back here in the Philippines.
That's right. And be part of Alab Pilipinas.
Alab Pilipinas, yeah, for the second straight year.
So Xavier Alexander will now work against Kalen Chongson. Ang Han Bin gets it to Fields. John Fields on the mid-range, Jay. Too strong. He's been on and off on those mid-range shots. Havilona now setting the table for Alab Pilipinas. He's got Ang Han Bin on him. Down low to Ramos. PJ, two guys against him. Could not make the shot. Kelvin picks it up, goes to Young for 3. Jaron Young could not get it in. Havilona gets the basketball.
What a rebound by Havilona. Oh, what a bad turnover.
The X-Man is on the move. 2-on-2 break. John Fields. Again, went for the throwdown, but PJ Ramos was able to break it up.
Well, that was a sending a message foul, not to Fields, but to the official, because he did not like the no call that happened on the other end.
And this was the play. Second dunk attempt broken up by PJ Ramos tonight. Earlier, he was able to challenge Xavier Alexander.
That's not a mosquito, by the way. That's a basketball. Just looks like a mosquito with those big hands.
So Bobby Ray Parks is back in. John Fields missing on the first free throw. 2 out of 5 now from the free throw line. And as a team, the Slingers are only shooting 50%.
And they're down by 10, as they have missed about 9 to 10 free throws already.
That's right. Lead is down to single digits though. 70 to 61. Ray to Ramos. Goes in. Bachman puts it up and puts it down.
One of the best in the league of making those awkward shots, even off balance, for the former NBA player.
John Fields, look out! On the roll for the deuce is John Fields. 27 points now for Singapore. And again, back and forth we go.
Singapore has to put more pressure on the ball, as San Miguel is just using more time on the clock.
Here's Kalen. Parks dancing with Ang Han Bin. Parks lays it up. Doesn't get it to work. And rebound goes to Young. Let's now go to Sydney Crespo for a report. Sid?
Martin Christian Alab Pilipinas is very specific with their mindset tonight, as their goal is to finish the year strong. They've been showing excellent energy, and just moments ago, PJ Ramos was even hyping the amazing crowd here in Caloocan Sports Complex. Now in the huddle, Coach Jimmy needs 3 things from his men the last 10 minutes of the game, and that is to move the ball more, shoot it with confidence, and whatever happens in offense, they need to go back immediately. Martin Christian?
Thank you so much, Sydney. And confidence is one thing they're not lacking tonight. They've been shooting confidently on the floor. And despite all of the fight-back attempts of the Singapore Slingers here, they've been able to put them all off. PJ Ramos, again, taking it strong to the hoop.
Well, outside of Alab's turnovers, you just gotta love how Alab generally has executed all throughout the game, with those high-low plays between Ramos and Bachman, vice versa. And plays like this one, getting your biggest guy underneath and forcing a foul. Only the second team foul, though, against Singapore, and they force a turnover and get a stop.
So Slingers will have possession here. Sending our birthday greetings to the one and the only, Direk Abed Ramos of the SNA family. Happy birthday, Direk. Said it at the same time. Alexander shoots it, no good. Bachman ahead to Chong Son, doesn't have the numbers.
Excellent transition defense by the Slingers.
Alvano, Bachman, stolen away by Young. Here's Jaron on the move, gets it to Alexander for the finish. No good though. At the rim for Alexander.
Sorry, miss.
So here is Ronaldo. Goes inside to Kalen Chong Son. PJ Ramos. Deflected and well read by Alexander. John Fields. Oh, Parks getting aggressive there.
No need to rush. Time is on your side.
3.5 remaining in the game. Balkman.
Ramos is still in the backcourt.
They got a lot of time to work with though. 10 seconds to be exact. Ramos, look at that pass to Balkman. Corner 3, too strong. Kalen Chong Son with the offensive rebound and a fresh 14. Alvano moves closer. Floater with the offhand, no good. Alexander They go to John Fields, who attacks Ramos. Fields nowhere to go, gets it to Young outside. 12 seconds to shoot for Singapore. He shoots the three. Unable to make it, that was off to the left. Ronaldo, no! The chase down by Jaron Young.
There it is.
Wow, Jaron Young, great effort on the defensive end in transition and preventing that basket of Ronaldo Balkman. Look at that play again. Balkman met upstairs by Jaron Young for that denial. Still a 9-point lead though for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. And back to the action, hug cam here. Once again, for the third time in the coverage, we've yet to see two people actually hug it out in our hug cam. So
Almost 10 p.m. and still.
we need to be gifted at least one in the coverage.
Right, before the night ends. This is the last game of the season for the year.
Yeah, that's
for
right.
the year.
So action continues. Ramos fires no good. Chongson, look at him fly for that rebound. Another offensive rebound to his name, Kalen Chongson. And PJ Ramos again. Strong to the basket. Count it plus the foul.
What a play by Khalil Chongson with his second straight offensive rebound in the last 2 minutes. Right here, that led to this one, getting the big guy underneath and showing the muscle, and that he can finish also with the offhand.
PJ Ramos with 25 and 15, make that 26 and 15 for the 7'3" Puerto Rican PJ Ramos. That stretches the lead to 12 points for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, 75-63. Doors slowly closing for the Singapore Slingers. John Fields with the answer. (75-65), approaching the last 2 minutes of this game. Once again, thank you so much for catching us live on SNA. As Ethan Alvano gets it to Bobby Ray, they go down low again to Ramos. Balkman on the cut. That is deflected by Alexander. Delvin on the hesitation. Brings the ball down and gets it to Young. Xavier using that Delvin screen. Alexander gets it to Fields. Fields puts it on the floor, puts it up and puts it in, plus the foul. Look at John Fields getting fired up.
What a play by Fields, as offense was a little bit stagnant before this one. John Fields, you like the decision to attack right away. He didn't even use the shot fake right there, but used his quickness for this 2+1 special.
And that's a big three-point play conversion by Fields. He is able to cut the lead down to 7. 75-68, a minute and a half remaining.
1-2-2, three-quarter court press after the free throw.
So San Miguel Alab Pilipinas will set up the offense. Time again is on their side, so they can choose to melt the clock. Balkman, the cross-court pass. Parks fires. Parks, that is short. Alexander, ahead to Young. Young, had to adjust. No good from Young. Good defense from Parks.
Credit Alvano right there, not giving up on the play that forced the shot fake and allowed Parks to recover for the block.
Touch pass to Chongson, baseline move. Kalen Ramos with the rebound, no good on the second try. But Alexander will get it for Singapore, under a minute remaining.
That's a foul.
And Alab Pilipinas already in
poor
the
foul.
penalty. That's right. So this will mean free throws for Xavier Alexander. Here's the recovery by Albano. And the challenge from Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Timeout here for Singapore. Alexander will have 2 free throws after the break. Resume our coverage here in the Philippines. This is your ASEAN Basketball League season number 9. And the fans already smelling the victory of the home team, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Although it's not yet over, Christian. We have 40.6 seconds remaining. Xavier Alexander going to the free throw line. A chance to cut it, or cut the lead to 6 or probably 5 if he makes both. So there's still hope if you're the Singapore Slingers. Alexander could make it a 2-possession game. Xavier. And 25 points in their previous game against Hong Kong Eastern. Tonight he has 10 points, only shot 4 out of 15 from the field, but has 10 boards and 11 assists, so a triple-double for Xavier Alexander, but he misses a crucial free throw. He is now 1 out of 6 from the line.
Has been one of the major issues for them tonight, making their free throws right there. 11 of 21, 10 misses, being down by 7, but getting the offensive rebound was Alexander.
11 boards now for Xavier. 6 seconds to shoot for Singapore. Alexander. No good on the up and under. Here's Fields for 3. Oh, knocks that one down. John Fields with a big free to cut the lead to 4. 35 points now for Fields.
They have to foul though. They're trying to force the 8-second or the turnover right here, but they have to foul.
There's the quick one given up by Delvin Go. And Singapore, though, not yet in the penalty. One more before they go over the limit. 75-71. Albano making his way in, replacing Lawrence Domingo. So 15.4 seconds.
And he's going to inbound the basketball to make sure that the ball ends up in the right hands.
So Parks will catch it. They need to foul if you're Singapore. Oh, wow. Young.
Flops. I don't know why they're not fouling.
They're not fouling here. They're not stopping the clock. And that's a really late foul given up here by Brandon Loon. Interesting sequence for the Singapore Slingers. Not choosing to stop the clock.
I think Bobby Ray himself was surprised he wasn't fouled, as Jaren Young was just right in front of him.
And there was no pressure also on Bobby Ray Parks. And San Miguel Alab Pilipinas will finish 2018 with a victory as Bobby Ray completes the 2 free throws. 77-71, that is our final score. 4-0 for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to begin their title defense here in the season number 9 of your ASEAN Basketball League. The Singapore Slingers On the other hand, falling down to 5-3, suffering their second straight loss in 3 days. Again, our final score here, 77-71. And we're returning. We're going to meet our best player of the game. Again, you guys are watching the ABL 9 on SNA. And back to our coverage here, ABL 9 on SNA. Final score, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas making it 4-0. 2 days before Christmas as they get this victory 77-71 over the visiting Singapore Slingers. You guys still have Martin Javier, Christian Luanzon doing this game. Thoughts on this victory by Alab Pilipinas, Christian?
A great job by the big three of Alab, led by Ramos and Bachman, who had a double-double in the first half. Parks also. Also, you got to credit also the supporting cast, particularly Rosser and Chongson, who did the intangibles. Chongson had 2 straight offensive rebounds. Rosser was pesky defensively.
Yeah.
Ramos right now, best player of the game.
And again, best player of the game is PJ Ramos. 26 points, 17 rebounds for the Puerto Rican big man. And again, just dominated down low. Again, dominating John Fields underneath. And our best player is with our courtside reporter, Sydney Crespo. And go ahead, Sydney.
Yes, Martin, I'm with the best player of the game, PJ Ramos, with 26 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 out of 18 field goals. Now, first of all, PJ, congratulations. You had a great night, but talk about the energy that you guys had tonight. I even saw you one moment, you were hyping the crowd here in the arena.
Yeah, I think it was fun. First time playing over here. I'm really excited to give the fans what they want. I'm over here to help my team and just give the fans a show.
All right, so you had a prolific start here in ABL 9, and you were able to deliver when Coach Jimmy asked you guys to end the year strong. Now, what do you think allowed you guys to do that?
Well, we've been working hard for 4 months now, and I think that we have a great team. We have a younger team than last year, because we have a better team, a more focused team, and I think we're just ready to whatever comes. After this Christmas break, we're gonna get stronger and just get ready for whatever's coming.
All right, again, congratulations and Merry Christmas, PJ. Back to you, Martin.
Sydney, again, best player of the game, PJ Ramos, 26, 17, and 5. And a block for the big guy, PJ Ramos. And next game's here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Next home game will be on January
Cebu.
6th. That's going to be in Cebu, that's right. Against the Macau Wolf Warriors. Next one after that against the Westport's Malaysia Dragons on the road at Mapa Stadium in Kuala Lumpur. And January 11, good matchup here against a team that's in their bracket also, Christian.
Right.
Hong Kong Eastern will be back here in the Santa Rosa, Laguna in the Philippines for that game against Hong Kong Eastern. It's been a pleasure covering this game with you, Christian. Any final
it's been my
thoughts?
pleasure
That's
also.
right. Any final thoughts on the performance of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to begin season number 9?
Well, they've been really good. Again, Jimmy Alapag before the season has been raving about this lineup compared to last season, particularly on their flexibility, their ability to switch, and being a more athletic team. And so far, the results have been in favor with them, even with the tight schedule. Looking ahead.
That's right. And 4-0 for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to begin the year, the only remaining undefeated team. And we will leave you now with the highlights of our game against the Singapore Slingers. Once again, this has been Martin Javier on behalf of our broadcast team here, my partner Christian Luanzon, courtside reporter Sydney Crespo. This is Martin Javier saying thank you and good night from Caloocan for your ASEAN Basketball League.